everybody, it is the Lawn Gnome and welcome back to another Funko Pop update. I really hope that you all have been enjoying your summers, and I am definitely curious to know your thoughts and opinions on a lot of what has actually happened in the world of Funko in the last couple of weeks, because even though it seems that Funko had a very, very successful San Diego Comic-Con, at the end of the day there was really nothing that I ended up purchasing from the con, and I think that maybe the very first time in a long time, or it may just be the second year in a row that I have not bought any Funko Pop exclusives from the con. But there was a big announcement that actually happened in recent weeks, and that was the fact that Mike Becker, the founding father of Funko, is officially leaving the company for the second time. The first time that he left, he sold it to Brian Mariotti, who of course is no longer there, but we cannot deny the fact that it was because of Brian Mariotti that we have Funko as the company that it is today, and of course the line of Funko Pops, which just keeps on growing. There has been some very big announcements in the world of Funko. They're making their official Beetlejuice line, so before that there was only one Beetlejuice Pop, and now the fact that there's going to be more characters that people can get, I'm sure people are excited about that. There were some really great Pop Rocks Pops that came out very recently, including the brand new Britney Spears Hit Me Baby One More Time, which is her sitting at the desk from the beginning of the music video. That is definitely an iconic moment from the music video. There was a brand new album of Michael Jackson's Off the Wall, which is, a matter of fact, is my favorite Michael Jackson album. I don't have a Michael Jackson Pop in my collection, but I am hoping that there will maybe be a diamond edition of him from his Rock With You video, because that is actually my favorite Michael Jackson song of all time. Outside of him moonwalking, that is the only Michael Jackson Pop that I would probably want to add to my Pop Rocks collection, which hasn't really seen a new edition since the guy from Disturbed. And there still is that rumor of the Beach Boys Pet Sounds 5-pack, but they also did announce a brand new Funko Pop Ice Spice, which I'm sure a lot of people are very excited about, as well as another concert stage featuring Blackpink, which I'm pretty sure a lot of people are going to be excited about. And there were a bunch of other very interesting things that came out in the world of Funko, a couple that I've actually now officially added to my pre-order. I love Scott Pilgrim vs. the World, and they have officially given us the Scott Pilgrim Takes Off Ramona Flowers and Scott Pilgrim. So, look, I have a Scott Pilgrim, I have a Ramona Flowers, but I just have them from the movie. I don't have the anime, and it's the classic Brian Lee O'Malley look from the graphic novel, so that makes me very excited. And of course, there are other things that are happening from Funko that people are getting very excited about, and people are most likely going to buy. But even though Mike Becker is leaving the company and is now being officially left in charge by someone who I have never heard of before, I'm just hoping that Funko just continues to go in its direction that it's going in, because I really thought that at some point in time I was not going to be collecting Funko Pops anymore, and it was going to be probably around now where these Funko Pop videos that I made were officially going to be gone. But no, they keep surprising me. There's always something new and exciting that just happens to show up, and I'm like, well, it's about time. I'd love to actually get that. I mean, there was a Funko Pop that came out that I never thought was ever going to happen, and I actually got it from my wife. There was a brand new series of Hello Kitty and Friends, and her favorite Sanrio character is now officially becoming a Pop on his own and not as a My Hero Academia hybrid. So I'm very happy to say that she will now be getting that Funko Pop in her collection, and the fact that this brand new Funko Fusion game is going to finally give me a Hot Fuzz Pop, which I've been waiting for so long. Even though it's not an official Hot Fuzz box, it's still something that I want. So I'm going to have it, and I'm very excited about that. So Funko's still working. You know, Funko still is somewhat a bit magical for me, even though I'm not buying so many Pops on a constant basis frequently. But this year, I think, saw my largest total Funko Pop purchasing in a very long while, because they're finally giving me what I want. But that's it for now. Let's take a look at how my collection has been going. So a lot has actually happened on my side in regards to Funko Pop. As a matter of fact, I just did a massive amount of reorganizing. I actually did put a lot of Funko Pops in a bunch of other places because I just felt that based on what was happening with my collection, it was time to start being a little bit more smart in regards to my organizing, because it is now getting tougher and tougher to actually find room. So I had to work smart. I had to, unfortunately, for the first time, double up some of my Funko Pops. Not happy about that, because I like to see every single one of them on display. But you know something? Sometimes for the greater good and for the sake of actually having room, you gotta figure things out. But today we're going to take a look at two Funko Pops that actually have been in my collection for a bit. One of them was here a lot longer. One of them's actually been here since the spring, and I actually completely forgot to talk about it. So now I'm glad that I can, because there happened to be an addition to my collection that is very appropriate in order to pair it up. And that, of course, is we're going to talk about some Simpsons Pops. So Simpsons was a collection that took a little bit of time to finally make it into my collection, but now it is just a matter of very unique things about The Simpsons that enter my collection. I have the Kang and Kodos, I have Bart the Raven, I have Comic Book Guy, I have Stupid Sexy Flanders, and now I have two iconic incarnations of the great Homer Simpson. I already had Homer sitting on the couch, that deluxe pop, which I'm so happy about, but these two, I think, actually surpass that just because of the moments and the episodes that they're featured in. So the first one that I want to talk about is actually the one that came out later, and it's funny because of the fact that its number is lower than the one that got to my house earlier. I'm trying to figure that out. So the first one is the Funko Shop exclusive of Evil Homer. So this is a version of Homer that happened way back in the golden age of The Simpsons. If I'm not mistaken, this one came out somewhere between seasons 3 and 5, and it was just a scene where Homer sees a vision of himself, and he's dressed up in a devil's suit with maracas going, "I am evil Homer, I am evil Homer," and that's the thing. You think Evil Homer, and that's what goes in your head. If you're a Simpsons fan, you just sing the song. He's a plain pop. He's really not that detailed, but it's the pose. It's the pose, it's the maraca colors, it's the fact that he's even got great detail in the pointy tail on his devil costume. And that's the thing. I think it's more about the moment than the pop itself. And that's one of the main reasons why I'm very happy to have this in my collection, because I love that episode. And then we got a version of Homer that came towards the end of the golden era of The Simpsons. I believe this one came out in season 8, possibly. Yeah, it was definitely season 8. Maybe 9, I'm not sure. But I know my Simpsons, trust me. But this is the PX Previews exclusive of Mr. Sparkle. And I never anticipated getting another Diamond edition, but this is now officially my second Diamond edition pop. You just got to be careful with it because of all the glitter, but the good news is the fact that the glitter is on the bottom and I cannot necessarily have to touch it. I'll be holding the face, but in this episode, Homer, Lisa, and Bart are in the local dump and they come across this old box of dish detergent from Japan, and there's a picture of Homer in a very weird way, and he is trying to figure out how this happened. So it was a part of the episode, and the other half was about Marge, but in this part of the episode, Bart, and Lisa are trying to find out who Mr. Sparkle is, and then they find out, and it's actually kind of funny. So the fact that we get the floating Mr. Sparkle head in the best way that Funko can actually do it. I love what they did with the eyes, and I love that he's got the super large grin and the details on the bubbles. That's the best. But of course, the better part is the dish soap box. I mean, it is just right out of it. I'm sure it was just a decal sticker that was printed and posted onto it, but it really was wonderful. I love the barcode on the side and the instructions, but this is a wonderful pop. I absolutely love this one so much, even though it is again, these two are relatively simple, but the Mr. Sparkle just has that little extra something that makes Simpsons fans very happy. So, to be a Simpsons fan and finally getting some truly great Simpsons pops, not that I didn't have any before, but These two may in fact be my favorites next to I think my favorite one is Comic Book Guy, which is also a Comic-Con exclusive. But yeah, I love these two to death. I'm so glad to have two great versions of Homer, and I am very curious to see if there may in fact be another version of Homer Simpson, or maybe of the other characters, that I would probably want to end up having in my collection at some point in time. I gotta be honest with you, I was with my brother-in-law a couple of days ago, and we went to a comic store that had old Funko Pops, and I saw the PX Previews glow-in-the-dark exclusive of Mr. Burns from the Season 8 episode of the Springfield Files, and part of me was interested in possibly picking it up, and my attitude is going to be, if I see it again, just get it, it's a sign. But for now, this is what I've got, and I'm happy to show it to you. Thank you very much for watching. Please leave your comments in the box below. Let me know what new Funko Pops or any Funko purchases you've made in the past month. Let me know if you actually picked something up from the cons. Let me know if there's something that I might have missed, and I will be looking forward to seeing you guys in the next one. If you enjoyed the video you just watched, feel free to leave a comment. Also, feel free to subscribe if you want to be up to date with our latest videos. Thank you so much for joining us today, and we'll see you in the next one. Actions speak louder than words.